Yo, what up? Y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey,
Asmin, the golden standard. Mon.
It's your boy. Welcome
I
back to
can't
Twitch,
see you
dude.
guys. I can't see you guys, but
Let
that's
me see
fine.
here.
Am I supposed to see you guys?
it
Yeah, I
might
can
be a
do
little bit
that.
messed
Why
up right
not?
Oh, there
now.
you go. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, what?
Hello.
What did I just do?
So, what are you talking about? What's going on?
We were just talking about the Blizzard, California lawsuit.
So that's crazy, right? How like they had a bunch of people that fucking touch women inappropriately and basically ruin the fucking company and make my game suck dick because everybody that works there is stressed out. Like imagine working somewhere like that. You know what I mean, man? Like that's crazy. It sucks.
It is. It's hard to imagine. You know what's really interesting is that I remember recently Riot had similar accusations, and I just don't understand how people can run these companies like such a fraternity. It's odd.
To me, like I think that it's almost a disservice to say fraternity to fraternities because this is not all the things that happen in fraternities either. These people like this like talking, like holding, like grabbing them, trying to kiss random women, like touching them inappropriately. Like this is fucking nasty. There are, I would assume that there are probably more fraternities that don't allow this than apparently some of these tech companies.
How is this happening? Yeah. You know, I was actually surprised to learn from Dan that apparently someone high up in Blizzard was like talking smack about you.
That is so.
Oh man.
There's a lot of people at Blizzard that are not my biggest fan. Okay, they don't like me. They don't like the shit that I say. They think that I'm basically a brand risk, and I don't really blame them. The guy said I was an asshole, and I agreed. I think he wasn't happy about a tweet that I made about pronouns. This was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I made this tweet, and he was mostly referencing that. He and I talked to him in DMs. We worked it out. Everything's totally fucking fine, right? But it's just one of those situations where people will see something like that, attach themselves to it, and then turn things around and use that as like evidence, right?
Yeah.
I was blown away when I saw the tweet. I was like, this is, and it kind of all melds together into the story, but like the unprofessionalism of someone that high up
Yeah.
in Blizzard to say publicly to one of the biggest supporters of the game, whether they like the shit you're saying or not, you love the game, you play it, you fuel this dying fucking game, and for them to come out and publicly say anything negative about you is so unprofessional and insane.
Well, to me, like I said this before, I wish they would just call me an asshole to my face. I wish that if they, I make a tweet about the game, they don't like it, they say, "Shut up, Baldy, fuck you, you're wrong." Like I'd be totally okay with that. It would be 100% fine with me. And a lot of people don't have the same perspective, but the way that I look at it is that I talk shit to them all the time. If they want to talk a little bit of shit back to me, that's totally okay. Unprofessional or not, it's okay with me. But I do think that obviously it's not something that you probably should do.
Yeah, it's I know you probably don't know me, H3, so I actually started working like I used to work as a commentator in esports. So I actually used to work for Blizzard. I used to cast a bunch of their games and everything was cool. They didn't mind me.
I might know you. Sorry, let me Google you because I used to watch a lot of StarCraft. What's your name?
Oh, I didn't do StarCraft. My name's Rich, Rich W. Campbell. But yeah, so I when I actually started,
Nice to meet you, by the way.
yeah, it's really nice to meet you. Been a fan for a really long time. Sorry you've had to
Thank
deal with
you.
Mizkif so much recently.
I know he's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trust me, Asman and I know that better than most. But yeah, when I used to work for Blizzard at first, I was I was their go-to for a lot of different shows. And Asman and I started a podcast, and right around the time that started, they actually hated Asman so much that they started to hate me just by association. So it was a very interesting dynamic where I feel like they looked at certain content creators that didn't align with how they viewed their company or how they viewed their players should be, and would try to distance themselves as much as possible from those content creators, which is so different than what I think other game
Well,
studios do.
yeah, I mean, distancing yourself is one thing. That means just not associating. But like having open disdain for someone that is spending all day for love of your fucking
Mm-hmm.
game, if you have feedback or criticism, no matter how harsh you say it, as a performer. They should actually listen to what you're saying beneath the harshness. The fact that they even take it personally is fucking. It's so unprofessional, absurd. It's symptomatic of how poor, how the culture within that company is so poor. Because like they need to not take shit personally. Their primary focus should be extracting useful information from what you're saying and improving their game.
I think
I agree. I mean, I think that's the way a lot of people view it. I can see where people get personally involved, and I'm usually pretty understanding about these kinds of things. But yeah, it does frustrate me a lot to get kind of cold-shouldered, and especially now with all this Blizzard, getting exposed shit. Especially whenever I've been kind of, it's always felt to me like I haven't really been politically correct enough for Blizzard to, put me in the spotlight or give me any sort of credibility at all or really acknowledgement. And then, whenever it turns out that, what I'm doing that's politically incorrect is just nothing compared to what's going on over there, I feel very vindicated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, the state. This isn't like someone who's suing them who used to work there. He
Not
said, she
foot
said,
longer.
This is the fucking state, bro. This is the state of California." And then, the lawsuit highlights multiple instances of harassment and discrimination that are a violation of state civil rights. And then their response was like so pathetic and petty too.
their
What was
response
their?
was terrible.
They were
I didn't
basically
even hear
they
that until
said
like
that
today.
well they didn't tell us what we were doing wrong. And it's like I use this example is if some employee goes into your building and he shits on the floor and he says, "Oh, well, it wasn't in the employee manual not to shit on the floor." And then he complains about being unfairly released whenever he gets fired or told to get the fuck out of the building. I don't think that they need to tell you that. Like, they don't need to do that. They don't need to go out of their way to say, "Oh, well, we're investigating you because of the fact that people spread around nudes of a girl at a holiday party. Like, hey, Merry Christmas. Here's Kathy's vagina." And then
Crazy.
she kills herself. The other thing was that we went over to they went over to the company like event. It's like a party or something like that. Some other guy was investigated and he brought lube and a butt plug to a company event. And then this is where the girl kills herself. And then it's found out that on top of that, she's being sexually harassed by other people at the company as well. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rich.
I know. I mean, the lube and the butt plug tends to be the smoking gun in situations like these. But
It is.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I thought was weird about the statement, because I actually didn't hear the statement until you told it to me, Asmon.
Yeah.
And one of the things I thought was so weird about it was there was another statement that was out there where it was basically like, "We've been very cooperative throughout the entirety of the investigation." So it was pretty clear that they did know what was going on. It didn't seem like stuff was really hidden, and it's not like it's some little tiny PI that was gathering the data from what we've seen so far. I mean, it's literally the state
This
of
is a
California.
2-year investigation that Blizzard has willingly cooperated in, and on top of that, has taken tangible and cognizant changes that they have made to their company as a whole as a result of this investigation and the things that were being uncovered. And then for them to have the audacity to turn around and say, "Oh, well, we didn't know what you were investigating us for. If you didn't know about what they were being investigated for, why the fuck are you changing the company culture and making people go to all these training exercises?" It's so fucking obviously fake.
You know, the statement I saw that really rubbed me wrong
Yeah.
was and maybe one of you guys can pull it up. I don't have it in front of me, but they said something to the effect of, "This is the reason why all big companies are leaving California."
Why? Oh yeah, that's right. All the companies are leaving California because they're getting investigated for harboring people that sexually molest other people that are in the company. Yes, that's why. Well, thank God. Thank God. I hope that they leave in that case.
I haven't heard of any other cases of this, but I haven't seen this much cover up since. Well, I'm not going to say it. People hate when I make that comparison. The Catholic Church. I'm sorry, but yes.
Well, I'm trying to think about that. Because you're probably right. Yeah, yeah.
It's an exaggeration. It is an exaggeration.
The Catholic Church is way worse.
It is
Absolutely.
way
But
exactly.
like,
The church is way worse.
yeah,
And
it's absolutely worse.
yeah,
But like the whole thing is just I think what really rubs people the wrong way, and this is like I know obviously like you probably are not involved in the WoW community the same way that I am. So I want to give you two circumstances that have happened and how Blizzard has approached these two circumstances. First circumstance is a guy had a twit longer come out about him, and this is a guy who is all like, do you know who Swifty is?
I don't.
Swifty's a huge WoW player. He's all around known as a very nice guy, very wholesome guy, has great relationships with the women in his family that he displays proudly and often on his stream, his IRL streams, and he's just very well known as a good guy in pretty much all regards. And there came out a twit longer about Swifty, and he basically said that a lot of the things were not true. And within one day of this twit longer going out, without even asking or reaching out to Swifty or anything like that, Blizzard immediately excommunicates him. You want to talk about the church? Blizzard immediately fucking excommunicates Swifty, deletes his NPCs in game, and this is somebody who was one of the first people to make content for WoW. One of the first, I would say probably the first real WoW celebrity besides like Leroy Jenkins. So they immediately excommunicate Swifty and they say, you know, well, this is what he was accused of and this is just all there is to it. Then on top of that, there was a voice actor for a character in the game who had accusations made against them that were completely unsubstantiated. Nobody had any fucking evidence of this whatsoever. And what ended up happening is this person lost their entire job. Their voice lines were scrubbed from the game and also the classic game as well, and replaced basically overnight. Then, after that information was found out to be fake, guess what changed? Nothing. So these two other people are immediately removed, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. Then suddenly, whenever it's Blizzard in the crosshairs, they're saying, "Oh wait, you know, things were exaggerated. It wasn't really this way. It's, you know, this is not true." So it's just very funny for me to see this happen after they've treated people with the exact opposite of the mercy that they're expecting the government to give them after a 2 fucking year investigation.
Say as a business owner, obviously I'm sure that Blizzard Activision has thousands and thousands of employees. We have
Yeah.
35 employees, you know, over on Teddy Fresh. But like we all had to do sexual harassment training for the workplace before anything. And if something was going on that I knew of inappropriate, there would be no fucking tolerance inside the company for that. And I'm from, you know, so the fact that they even tolerated this stuff is
Well, I think it's because
bizarre. It's inexplicable, and it's so, you know, it's just so odd, and it's so fucked up.
Especially when the company
here's-
has the
go ahead,
stance
Josh.
that it does have too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
like
The
that's
external, they have this external
This image.
of being like, yeah,
I mean, to the point of, I mean, it actually changes the content that they're putting out, right? I mean, the literal games that they're putting out, even there have been slight deviations from that messaging that they put out and what we've actually seen. I think a lot of people look back to the Blitzchung scenario during the Hearthstone League as one of those first times where there was a crack in what was simply PR and what was actually going on. I don't know if you guys remember back to that, but that was one of the first times where it's like, okay, maybe Blizzard's just trying to say that this is how they view things at the company, but this is how they really feel.
Yeah, Ethan, do you remember that?
no, I'm not familiar. I didn't follow
Oh
the
man.
Ba-
I
Okay,
kind of
so
like
basically-
blacked out on. Basically, I was like a total Blizzard fanboy growing up. I played every fucking game: StarCraft, Warcraft. I played WoW for a long time. I played all the Diablos, and I kind of blacked out on Blizzard since I quit WoW, like, you know, 10 years ago when I was in college or something.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. And so like no, this is like honestly, the Blitzchung thing this is more impactful because it's actually like Blitzchung was just like monumentally bad PR, where this is like actual fucking people might go to jail. So this is
crap,
this is 100% worse. But in terms of like its impact, the Blitzchung thing was huge too. So basically, what happened was Blizzard had a player, and he was a Hearthstone player who won a tournament, and he was in China. And the Hearthstone player then, during his victory speech, said, "Free Hong Kong." basically, right?
Oh, I
And this
do
was on a
remember that.
Chinese.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course I
and
remember that.
yeah,
Oh
and
yeah, that
so
was so fucked up.
and then Blizzard immediately responded by docking his pay, by removing his win, and just basically deleting this kid completely. And on top of that, they even got rid of the announcers that were there at the same time. And this is very clearly, right? I mean, they're just they're sucking the CCP's dick. Like
Yes.
that's why they're doing it. And
And,
I can go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say we were talking before we got on with you about how much we used to
Yeah.
love. Back when I was a kid, Blizzard couldn't miss, man. They were just every game was polished, was
Yeah.
perfect. They were amazing. They were reputable. They were trustworthy. It was like they never miss, you know. And then once World of Warcraft came out, this insane money started coming in, and I think that's when all this shit creeped in. I don't know when they merged with Activision, but I think when WoW came out, the company just started making so much money. They probably just started bringing in all these new people, and
Well,
since then, it's just been a soulless shell.
I think one of the things that you don't see now that like Asmon and I talk about all the time because we're still playing WoW, you can really see those different things. Like the you look at Call of Duty, for example, right? It has that yearly model where they have 3 different studios in tandem always developing these games, and they know that every time Call of Duty comes out, they're going to make a bunch of money just by releasing the title, right? Now World of Warcraft has gotten closer and closer to looking to only make their money off of the expansion release instead of actually having player retention and having a good game that tries to keep people on board for the entirety of an expansion. So the effects on the content of the game itself, I think we can see much more the effects of Activision than ever before, and I think it makes for a much worse game. But I would be curious to see when this trial actually comes out, just how long the company may have been having these terrible things go on.
I think it's been happening ever since, probably ever since WoW came out, at least. And like, I mean, this is the same thing, Ethan, you said at the beginning, right? Is like this shit's been happening with these tech companies ever since, you know, forever. So it's not really that new or anything like that. And it is sad, right? Especially as like a long-term Blizzard fan, like it seems like you used to be, right? For sure.
Big
To see
time.
people that
Yeah.
you used to be like huge fans of, used to love
Hmm.
watching these people, and then find out that they're actually pieces of shit. I mean, that sucks. It really does. And like I was saying this earlier, it's like, what are they gonna say, like at BlizzCon this year? You know, like what is there gonna be a BlizzCon this year? It seems a little bit awkward now.
Well, why do you even still support them? Why do you even still play WoW?
That question becomes asked for me. Like I ask that question to myself more every day, and especially with something like this. And I remember today I was like
They
gonna
they don't
play.
yeah, they don't respect what you do for them.
Well, I mean, the reason is like I love the game. I really, really like the game, and I like playing it. Like that's really all it comes down to. But like I don't know. I might actually it depends on what they do, because here's
It's
the
a big part
reality.
of your identity, I understand,
Oh
right?
yeah, it's a big part of my
Yeah.
identity, and obviously like a lot of people like watching it. I've played the game for 15 years. I'm emotionally connected. Absolutely. Yeah, 100% all of that stuff. You're totally right. But
Yeah.
there is a certain degree of it too where I also I do have some type of like resentment for those things as well. And also, I don't want to cut off the entire company because of a handful of people. So I think that I'll really make that decision whether I want to continue supporting the company. Like whether it's, you know, just playing the game or what, I'll probably make that decision after a lot of this stuff is kind of wrapped up.
Right.
This is more a statement. I don't really know like where
People are saying
opinions lie.
battle of the eyebrows, Asmin. We both have crazy eyebrow twitches,
I
so
don't know how it happened. I really don't. Like I watch the streams, I'm like, yeah, how am I doing this? And I don't know. I have no idea.
you don't know what's with your eyebrows?
I don't even think about it, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you always had eyebrow twitches?
I don't think so. I'd have to go in my
Not
old
this
videos.
much.
I don't think I
No,
do.
not this
No.
much.
Interesting.
He over time, his eyebrows got more and more powerful. Like it's been
Yeah.
insane. He
That's
went,
really
yeah,
interesting.
his
And you,
APMs increased.
let me ask you this: do you control your eyebrow movements, or is it kind of involuntary?
I can do both, but usually 90% of it is involuntary. Like people like make a clip and it's like I've moved my eyebrows 3 times in 1 second. No, that just happened on its own.
Yeah, because I have Tourette's, so I have like a tic disorder, I
Oh,
guess.
so it's a legit thing.
Yeah, in my case.
Okay.
But I find that interesting that you don't even like acknowledge them moving. They
No,
move.
it's like
They have their own mind.
exactly. Yeah, it's like they're being controlled by Chad or by somebody else. Yeah, I've been made aware of that many times.
I've
It's
been
not
playing
good.
Final Fantasy. It's really fun.
Wait,
Oh
really?
yeah.
I'm level 27, bro. I've been grinding hard. I'm about to get that
Holy
chocobo.
shit. Holy goddamn, man. All right.
I've been running hard. I got myself a gladiator, tanking it up.
Okay. Okay. So you're
You
having
need,
fun.
Lalafell?
What server you playing?
I'm on your server, I think. What is it called?
Cactar?
Yeah, I'm on Cactar.
Oh, all right. There it is. Okay, awesome.
You should
Yeah.
come to our wedding.
Oh,
Are you guys
God.
having an endgame wedding?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's getting married?
Us.
Oh, you two are getting married in game? How romantic.
So I gotta ask, right, Ethan? I saw a little bit of the events that transpired yesterday. What do you think's gonna happen with this whole gambling thing, man?
How much do they pay you as a flat fee every month for fulfilling your contractual obligations to
I'll
them?
probably get in trouble for releasing it, but I'll tell you a million a month. And I'm down 2.8 million this month. So now you can see how degenerate it is. It's bad.
So despite what Trainwreck says,
Yeah.
these are not heavy hitter legit sites. They're super shady. I've been trying to confirm some of the stuff he said, and I have not been able to. He says it's licensed in Canada. It's not. It's licensed in what's the name of the country?
Well, there's multiple layers because they're obviously using like shells and stuff. So like it's somewhat in Australia, but
They're
Curacao
Yeah.
is the island in the Caribbean where
So
it's
it's in-
located.
saw the
Oh,
shed?
of course.
You saw
yeah,
the
of course,
shed?
yeah.
Did you
Yes,
see the shed? Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it was a very large shed. Okay, to be fair, there was
Yes,
a
it was
larger
a
than average
nice shed. It wasn't exactly. It was a luxury shed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that there's been a long history of this, right? I think when you look back to all of the esports gambling, right? Like look back to all the skins betting, look back to anything that's been involved with video games and gambling, and it has always been a shady operation, sometimes
Yes.
even run by the influencers themselves.
Yes.
And this to me seems no different, and that's coming from a guy who loves to gamble. I'm literally like I love to gamble. I don't need to do it on stream and convince other people to do it necessarily, but look, I've never been faced with the decision where somebody. I mean, look, nobody's ever come up to me and been like, "Hey, do you want $5 million gamble on stream?" And like,
Well, you're totally right, Rich, because like the reality is that a lot of these people have, I mean, they're getting these paychecks that are life changing, and like
Yes.
every paycheck they get changes not only their life but another family member's life, and that's why, like in my opinion, I think this is totally Twitch's fault, because if Train and XQC and Aiden Ross all decided I will never do another gambling stream, you know what somebody else is gonna say? Great, that's room for me. And nothing's gonna fucking change, and that stuff is still gonna happen over and over and over. Twitch needs to be accountable for this.
I'm surprised they allow it as well.
Me
you know,
too.
if you look at like Trainwreck, he until recently he just moved to Canada. He lived in Arizona, is that right?
Something like that.
And well, anywhere wherever he lived, it was
He was living in
illegal.
it was in Texas.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was illegal or not. Like, I remember those leaked
You can't
DMs.
gamble. Yeah, so we confirmed that where he lives.
Yeah, I mean he's using
that's
a
why he's
VPN
moving.
and everything. It's illegal.
What Twitch is? They're saying, Austin, it's illegal to gamble there. So what they're saying, what Twitch is saying, is that you can openly break the law, your state's law. They don't allow that in any other way. Right? They don't allow you to break laws on Twitch.
and
That's what he's doing. He's gambling in the state of Texas, which gambling's illegal in.
Here's what scares me. It's not even about the state laws. If you think like that Arizona or Texas have Puritan or restrictive laws on gambling, you haven't seen shit about Sweden. Okay? Sweden, you can't even do channel point predictions because it's considered gambling. What the fuck do you think is going to happen whenever some of these European countries realize and catch wind of the fact that Twitch is allowing gambling to be streamed unmoderated to thousands of people with no barrier to entry whatsoever other than an 18 plus thing on the title? It's just
People are
it's
saying
not acceptable. And they will fine Twitch and they will block Twitch. And the people that will lose, here's what upsets me about this, is that the people that will lose are the viewers, because they're the ones who are going to get a worse viewer experience, because Twitch will get less funding, because it will be
get fucked. I mean,
everybody gets fucked. Yeah,
I
everybody
don't
gets
know
fucked.
why. I don't know why. It's not that big of. It's not like that serious for them. Like to just say, you know what, we don't want to allow this anymore. What do they have to lose by doing that? I just don't understand the hesitation on their part.
Well,
But
I
you know,
mean,
the other.
in esports, it always made sense, though, right? I mean, when you looked at esports, why was it always something that continued to happen? They were just going to pay more, and it was hard to get esports sponsors at the very beginning. So it was a giant cash injection into an area where you wouldn't otherwise be able to unlock dollars. So you continued to see it happen over and over and over again. With Twitch, the question is just who's making the money off of it? Obviously, the content creators are. Is it worthwhile? I think you bring up an adpocalypse, essentially, Asmon, right? Like that's the idea that you bring up.
Beyond that, I think I'm talking about a potentially the website could get blocked, it could get fined, and having to fine could make Amazon consider Twitch a not worthwhile investment, which would cause them to put less funding into Twitch, that could affect Twitch and the viewer experience in multiple negative ways. And the ripple effect of a fine or a lawsuit from some of these European countries is not just it's not just the people getting banned, it's Twitch itself being damaged in so many different ways that you can't even really think of yet, because we don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's something we don't know. There's always like another story behind the scenes. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if they're worried about the repercussions of banning gambling. What does that mean? Like loot boxes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other stuff that people could interpret as gambling that goes
Yeah.
on Twitch that might cause problems for them to make that distinction. And probably a lot of games too in America that make a lot of money from loot boxes that are telling them not to ban it. You know,
I'm gonna be honest here. Not to like quote Aiden right now and be like it's fun, but I have genuinely enjoyed watching gambling streams in the past. Like that's the thing that's so crazy about it is pretty decent content. Like I've always watched Train stream. I've watched his gambling streams and I have enjoyed it. And I'm curious about if it wasn't so shady, like shady companies, is there ever a world where this is okay and there are actual checks to make sure that kids aren't watching the programming? The problem with these gambling websites is they're straight up scams on top of everything else.
I think that it shouldn't. Go ahead, sorry.
that's the big problem is that when you go to a place like Las Vegas, which is a brick and mortar gambling places, there are commissions, there are licenses, there are governing bodies that check that the random number generators are not rigged, that control, that observe, that monitor how much cash comes in, how much cash comes out, that everything's above the board, that there isn't money laundering involved. And when you go over to these online websites, and you know, I was looking at Stake, that's the one that Trainwreck was talking about. Their casino is crypto only.
Why do you think that is?
Exactly. It doesn't need to even be explained, but like I will. You know, when you're using crypto, you're basically evading all regulations, probably taxes. You can't get chargebacks. Literally, it's black market as it gets. And when you're doing a casino, you more than any other business need to make sure that there are regulations in place to make sure that things are running as you would expect. I mean, it's gambling to begin with, but then when you add an element of deception to it and lack of oversight, then it's just it's just a scam. It is just a scam.
I don't know, like about the individual websites. Is each one of them a scam? It's like impossible to really know the scope of what a scam. I have no idea. But what I do know is the fact that if Twitch lets this continue, it will hurt the website, and every single person on here will be negatively affected by that, by loss in revenue that will then be followed by a loss in support and funding that will affect you as a viewer.
Yeah, going back to the train wreck thing, is that you have these leaked DMs between him and XQC, and what I've learned, because I've done a little research since our call yesterday, is that the owner's name of that casino was a name that Trainwreck was using when talking to XQC, implying that they're, if first of all, definitely on first name basis with each other, but if not friendly. So the fact that Train is doing these gambling streams, being paid $1 million a month, and on first name basis with the owner itself is such a blaring, burning conflict of interest that it begs questioning everything when he is on a first name basis and likely friendly based on the DMs that were accidentally shown with the owner of the casino. That's fucked up.
The worst thing,
Very interesting.
yeah, the worst thing about everything, this is even with loot boxes too. Anything that happens when it's being streamed, if any of the RNG manipulation is happening to make a better advertisement and make it seem like it's more likely to win, that's beyond fucked up. I think that's one of the scariest things is the idea that it's like, okay, make the streamer win a lot so everybody else goes and thinks it's like going to be a sure thing to win.
Here's what I think, right?
Yeah.
So like logically, these people are making their money back from these sponsorships because if they weren't, they would not keep doing them. It's just that simple.
Of
So
course.
a better advertisement is for the people that are advertising the product to win more often to show that winning is possible. So to assume that it's not rigged or whatever, like I'm not convinced that it's rigged, but I'm sure as hell not convinced it isn't.
Exactly. And that's my point when I say it's unregulated. It's not. They
Absolutely.
say it is. It's not. It's fucking not. They're playing with crypto. Those guys on the back end, whatever fucking software they're using, I don't know, bro, but like these guys can do whatever they want on the back end. They can. It's just they can. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, this can happen, and like this is like really what my main point is with all of this is that I'm very concerned that the conversation around this whole gambling thing will center too much around trainwrecks or too much around XQC because I just think these are symptoms of the disease, and the disease is Twitch allowing this to happen. And if how many people do you think would turn down $1 million a month?
Yeah, even
That's
Aiden too. Even
that's a
Aiden.
cold hard
These
fucking
guys
truth.
are already rich.
Yeah, but you can always be more rich.
But I'm saying at a certain point, it's like, you're given the option. I think you can't absolve them of any responsibility. Like at the end of the day, they're given the option to make a bunch of money at the cost of potentially hooking their audience that they claim to care about to one of the worst vices and addictions. They call it you know, the most deadly vice. You can turn down the money. You can. And these are guys that already have a lot of money. Let's be honest.
People always find a reason to fucking rationalize it, and that's what pissed me off a lot about your interview with what people are saying is like, if you're gonna fucking make the money, man, like don't go and excuse it, right? Like I think that's the point where people lose the plot whenever they do something bad and then they try to tell themselves that it's not bad. That's the point of no return, delusion. You can't even be honest with yourself.
I have no problem with people who have done it and then realize like, hey, you know what, this is
Yeah.
not a good thing for me to be doing, and they stop. Because the money's still on the table. I'm sure you could go pick up a huge sponsorship and do it again if you wanted to. The offer's on the table, but you don't take it, right? And the same could be true for everyone that's still doing it. At the same time, there's always going to be people who are going to take that check. So at the end of the day, personal responsibility is just one aspect of it, and the other one is Twitch doing something about it. But it's like, how do you? Well, it could be easy for Twitch. They could say no casino gambling, no casinos. That's it.
Well, the reality is like people can always draw analogies and comparisons to loot boxes, to CS:GO gambling, to different items, Overwatch skins, etc. But I don't. I think that this is just an obfuscation. The reality is that slots is gambling and slots is bad.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Let's start with the framework that basically everybody agrees on, rather than trying to create these imaginary comparison situations that are going to happen in 3 years. Like, let's think about the obvious problem that's happening in this exact moment.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do anything about it. Like, I don't see what they have to even gain from keeping it on the platform.
They have something to lose. Who the fuck? Like, do you really think Disney wants to have, or Ford wants to have their what do you call it? Their shows and their commercials next to gambling? Many of them have morality clauses. We know this because we've had to deal with this ourselves with getting sponsors for shows. And
did
many
they,
of
Yeah.
they demonetized like at all the
on
hot
YouTube, yeah.
or on Twitch they demonetized all the hot tub girls, right?
No, I'm not
yes
sure if
and
it was
no.
all of them. So one of the things that was talked about a lot was they were going to give every streamer basically a rating, and they were going to rate how family friendly we were, and that was going to affect the different CPMs. So that I think that that's still a project that is going on. So that might roll out over time, but I do think, to be completely fair, there has to be some advantage. Otherwise, they would have just completely gotten rid of it, right? Unless they're just
I don't agree
completely
with that.
incompetent.
What?
I don't agree with that.
Well,
I think that
I
I
mean-
think that they could just be incompetent.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Or they-
maybe.
I think that
does it
here's the
farm
real-
watch time? Is it making them more ad revenue
Well,
right
it
now?
does make them money, and yes, it's always
That
difficult
much,
to
though,
make
and I mean, how much money could it possibly be making them in the context of their entire
in
business?
the grand scheme.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
also, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you want to go back to Blizzard for a second. If you want to do a Blizzard tournament, you know what one of the sponsors you can't have is a gambling sponsor. You cannot do a Blizzard tournament with a gambling sponsor. So what do you think
That's
lot
a
of
company
these
with
advertisers...
morals. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Think about, and if that's Blizzard,
no,
right?
no alcohol, tobacco, gambling, and
Of course.
porn. Yeah,
It's obvious. These are vices and a
Yeah.
game that's played by a lot of children, and it just fucking makes sense. And let's just be honest, the demographic of Twitch skews younger. I mean, like, I'm not saying like all kids, but like we're talking about a lot of people who are under the age of 21 are on Twitch.
There's a lot of people on Twitch that are young. I mean, like, for me, like, I have an MMO audience, okay? So I think that I'm definitely the exception here. I'm pretty sure that my 13 to 17-year-old audience is 3.7% or something like that. It's extremely low. But for the most part, yeah, there's a lot of young people here on Twitch. Absolutely.
I mean, if you took Mizkif out of OTK, like the entire org's
Yeah, it would be a
viewer
boomer
base
org.
would be- yeah, but I'm pretty sure everybody watches Miz is probably about 12 years old. But besides that,
Somewhere
everyone's
around
pretty old,
Shout
Yeah,
out
I mean-
OTK. You guys are going to the moon. Where can I invest?
You have to go to stake.com and you can make an account.
Promo code Asmin.
Yeah, exactly.
Asmin for the gold.
Yeah, with a bald coin. Simple.
You give yourself stuff for baldness. You're not bald.
That's what
He's working on it though.
you like. I have the same hairline as a Nintendo 64 controller. It's not good.
Are you? Yeah. I think your hair looks great. I like it.
Yes,
think-
this is very carefully crafted.
Oh, really?
This
Does
is
it
an
take a lot of...
illusion.
Oh, no.
Yes, it's a very carefully crafted illusion.
Are you ever going to just embrace it and shave the head?
I have considered shaving my head for a massive charity goal before, and it's not
Well,
something that I'm completely writing off.
Dan was bald. Dan was balding, and he just embraced it and shaved the dome, and he
Let's see,
raves about it.
How is it, man?
Good, man.
How is it?
How is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel much better after. You gotta just embrace it at a certain point. I don't think you're at that point yet, though. I think
Yeah.
you're.
How many
I think
more years?
you're
How many more years do I got, man?
It's working for you.
How many more years you got?
Yeah,
How many years does he have, Dan?
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, you're hanging in there.
I'm doing my best.
I'd say you have about 2 years until it's gonna start getting to a point of no return.
Oh, fuck.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what sucks? I think Asmin has a great shaped head. I'm starting to go bald as well, and I have a dent in my head. I have like a Tim the Tatman crater in my head. So if I actually shave it, I think I'm gonna look terrible. Like if I go full bald.
You guys are going to look great with big, beautiful domes. Come on.
Oh God, I'm just so worried about it. I
easy.
hopefully I don't need to worry about it too much.
Dude, I worried about it a lot, and then I did
Yeah.
it, and I swear to God, I felt so much better after I did it.
I've
It's
had a lot
just-
of friends tell me the same thing.
It's
Honestly,
true. It's real.
Okay.
And you got a nice beard too, which helps a lot.
Thank you.
I guess it's easy for me to say because I don't have hair problems, but I think guys with bald domes look good. I like the bald dome look.
I'm not.
I'm
I'll
jealous,
be honest,
Ethan.
man.
You've got a great hairline, man. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair, man.
I care a little bit less about.
I have.
Yeah.
I care a little bit less about what Ethan thinks about my hair though than some other people, right? That's the thing I'm nervous about.
You don't care about what I think. Yeah.
No, about
I'm
my
not trying
hair.
to. Fuck
The only
Not
thing
trying-
I care about. Do you like me?
I do like you. Yes. I can confidently say that I do like you.
Well, it's nice. Something different. How about that, Rich?
Different answer than last time.
Yeah, wow, that's big. That's big. It makes it all the more special.
Well, I'm really happy to connect with you guys, Asman. I became aware of you during the Keemstar shit, and you reacting to it all. I got a kick out of that.
Which Keemstar shit?
Well, it was like a long time ago when I made my whole Keemstar document.
Oh, nuclear war.
Yeah, the nuclear war
Oh,
series.
God.
And I was like, man, I hadn't tuned into the Twitch community in a long time, and I was like, oh, there are really cool people on Twitch, because back when I was doing it, like 3 years ago, it just seemed like everyone was gaming and nobody was. What?
It was longer than 3 years ago that we were on Twitch.
It was? How long
Oh, whenever you first started doing the podcast here,
2017.
right?
I remember that original set.
17.
Yeah.
4 fucking years
It's
ago?
2021, my dude.
Holy shit. God,
Maybe we dipped into 2018 a little bit, but we cut it off around there. So
Yes, it was much different back then. So I'm really happy to be here now, because there's a really cool community of people that I respect and find interesting and funny. So it's really cool.
It's changed a whole lot, man. It really has. And I'm glad for that. I know that there are some people that are not particularly happy that there are individuals on this website that wear bikinis, but the reality is I would much rather have that than a bunch of boring people playing CSGO, not talking to their chat. I'm very happy with at least the breadth of content that Twitch has now.
Exactly. That's what you need. I mean, just look at YouTube. I can find boy, you should see some of the
Me
shit I
too.
found on YouTube, boy.
Yeah.
Welcome it all.
But that's the way I feel about it too. I think it's all good, and it's fine with me. I'm happy about it, and just letting people do what they want to do is what really matters. But I do think this past, like, especially even the past year, right, with COVID, you've had so many new and like different people, like from you, Minecraft people. Hassan's a big one, bringing in a completely different type of content to the website. I'm really happy to see it. I am.
I think it's specifically so cool to see Hassan bringing like lefty politics, popularizing it here. Even politics in general is not something I've seen here, but lefty politics is like left up to like a late night show host, which sucks. So actually, like seeing someone like a contemporary doing really good, funny political commentary, and of all places, Twitch. It's so cool and unexpected.
Yeah, I think that's what one of the most important things is like giving people that space to just kind of do that different stuff, and especially the political stuff. I think that's going to be huge. And the more and more that people get involved with it, the better it's going to be. And I think it just actually gives viewers the reality is it gives viewers so many more options and so many more things that they can do instead and watch instead. I think it's great.
More the merrier.
That's the way I see it too.
It's cool to see people embracing more and more like production too. I think like one of the things with Twitch in the past was there wasn't that much high production value really being brought, and then when it was there, it just always felt fake. But now you can actually put together a good show, and people are more ready to watch it. I remember when I actually watched your podcast for the first time, I was still working in production at the time. I was like, holy shit, nobody's really been able to pull this off before. And it did feel organic then. And I watched a lot, and we've even talked about it in OTK meetings, like looking at how that original set looked and the balance between production and making it feel organic. But I feel like Twitch is in a much better place than it's ever been before, even with all the shit that's going on it.
Sure. Oh, for sure. Thank you for those nice comments, by the way. But yeah, I feel like Twitch is at a height right now, for sure.
Things are going well.
Yeah, and you're hearing about like these. You guys are like these big. You guys are big Twitch personalities that are like crushing it on the level of like you. It was always like YouTube was kind of like more coveted than Twitch, I think, coming up just because there was more people and more money there and just more influence. But that's changed. I feel like the big boys on Twitch are now crushing it on the same degree as people on YouTube.
I'm gonna have to say I think that YouTube might be a lot bigger. Like YouTube is, it's definitely a lot bigger than Twitch. But you're definitely right that Twitch has grown a lot, and the ceiling on Twitch is a lot higher than it was in terms of like the money you can make and also the heights that you can reach. And that's definitely a good thing. I mean, I'm happy to see that.
This is the biggest height that I've reached on Twitch. You know, H3 Googled me today. That was pretty wild. That was probably my biggest achievement on the
platform.
How
about
that wouldn't have been
dude?
possible on Twitch a while
Famous,
ago.
man.
Yeah, that was big.
OTK, shout out OTK. Let's fucking go.
Thanks, man.
Are you in OTK?
Me?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started it with the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
your shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's our
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
dude, OTK to the moon. Let's fucking go, dude.
Thanks,
You
man.
you looking for an org? Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know, dude. Just let me know.
Maybe I am. We can talk about it. I don't
See
know what that
happens.
means.
Yeah, I'll see what happens.
Well,
All right.
Miskit just says you guys are going to make $1 billion selling it to someone someday. So I just want
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Miskiff says a lot of things, and they're true. They're always true.
He's like, yeah. So let's go. Fucking OTK. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
peeing in a shower, real CEO moves. I respect that guy a whole bunch.
Does he do that?
I pee in the shower.
No.
I never do.
He doesn't turn it on first. That was actually how you guys met,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's fucked up.
I don't think we ever would have met if Miz didn't pee in the shower when it wasn't on.
Interesting.
Oh
You know
my
what you should
God.
do? I think that you should have a debate with E-Rob one of these days, H3. I don't know if you know who he is. He's killing it on Twitch. He's one of oh dude, he's one of
I still don't know what an E-Rap is.
let me tell you, man, one of the he is the
Have you ever played Bloodborne, Ethan?
Yes. I played it
Okay.
all the way through recently.
All right. So, let me go ahead and paint a little picture for you with E-Rob's stream, okay? So, E-Rob had promised his viewers that he would finish the Old Hunters DLC no matter what. And he intended to follow through on that promise. Even though his girlfriend had kicked him out of the house. So, he went over to his mother's house and recorded himself with a webcam sitting in front of his mother's television playing the game, dying on Lawrence for 3 hours.
Lawrence? Oh, so you
Yeah.
never got past. That was the first boss, right?
That's the souped up version of the first boss.
Oh,
It's like the it's like
Fire
the DLC.
version of the cleric beast.
Yeah,
okay.
it's the red version.
Oh, I
with, like, the
remember that
fire
guy,
on it.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, apparently he's famous for taking the L. That's all I understand about E-Rob.
yeah.
He bet on McGregor.
I think the
Major
best
L.
way to make somebody who doesn't know E-Rob understand E-Rob. Have you watched Winnie the Pooh?
Yes, of course.
He's Eeyore. Like that's
He's Eeyore.
that's how he fits into the cast of Twitch. You know.
I'm gonna have to meet this guy someday. His reputation precedes himself.
That's gonna be a wild debate. Hopefully you're on his side. Otherwise, you might hold the L this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a mastermind.
He sure
What,
is.
what am I supposed to debate him on?
Honestly, you pick anything. He's a scholar.
That's up to you. But
Okay, I'll have to think of something obscure like the fall of the USSR and its influence on Western Europe or something.
oh yeah, he'll know all about that. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt he will.
Well, I think this is about time for us to wrap up the stream
Sounds
for us.
good.
It's getting late over here.
You know, this is what I like about YouTubers coming onto Twitch, is you guys lower the bar of how long streams have to be.
You fuckers,
Guys, y'all
I'm
go
not-
on, and you're just on for a few hours. You
4
put out
hours.
the content. Yeah, 4 hours. That's good. Like, if I end a stream after 4 hours, my viewers are pissed.
Like, you lazy piece of shit.
Yeah,
Not even
I
12.
appreciate you.
Bro, I don't get how you guys do that. Like I was speaking to Amaranth before. That girl licks ear for 12 hours, and I mean that's stunning.
She might be
I-
the smartest content creator to ever exist. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not joking right now. I am tier 3, but I'm literally not joking. I've never seen anyone work harder than her, and she's created basically every single meta that's ever happened on Twitch. She even created the Pokemon Snap meta. She was in a hot tub while she was playing Pokemon Snap, but she took over the entire directory. I think she's the best content creator on Twitch, and I think that she will continue to be one of the most successful content creators forever.
Someday,
Say that again?
She's,
I said at this rate she's going to be president someday.
I believe it.
but
Well,
either way, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it was really, really nice talking with you guys and nice meeting you. And I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
I'm sure we will. Well, anyway.
see you at
have fun
Endgame.
with your stream.
I'm gonna see you
Oh
in the
yeah,
end.
you're right.
Fantasy World's first.
All right, man. I'll see you there. I'll talk to you later. Peace. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Nice meeting you.